Joining the Pacquiao versus Broner media conference call. Your host for today, Kelly Swanson, will now begin.
Thank you, operator. Thanks, everyone, for calling in for the Manny Pacquiao, Adrien Broner media conference call for their fight on January 19th, live on Showtime pay-per-view from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. And we're going to get right to it, and I'm going to be more than happy to introduce Leonard Ellerbe, Chief Executive Officer of Mayweather Promotions, to begin our call. Leonard?
Kelly, I'd like to thank everyone for joining the call today. We're 9 days away for what I consider to be the biggest fight of 2019. And just fresh off of two outstanding media day workouts yesterday in California. Both guys seem very focused. They're both in great shape. And again, we have a unbelievable hot fight come next Saturday night. Really looking forward to it.
That it?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, great. At this time, I'd like to introduce Steven Espinoza, President, Sports and Event Programming for Showtime Network. Steven?
Thanks, Kelly, and thanks, Leonard. Look, all you guys are very well acquainted with Manny and Adrien. You've covered him for years. They're two of the biggest names in the sport, so I don't need to tell you anything more about them. What I will do is give you some brief programming updates. Episode 2 of All Access premieres this Friday, 9:30 Eastern and Pacific on Showtime, of course. That is immediately before Showbox, which is a 3-fight card headlined by Devin Haney. Then, once we get into fight week, as has become our hallmark, we will be distributing a whole variety of premium content across social media platforms on Showtime and elsewhere. We've got the 4 installments of All Access daily shows. That's a daily digital series throughout fight week on YouTube and Facebook. We've got a daily series created specifically for Snapchat. That is going to start even earlier than fight week. Of course, live stream coverage of the Wednesday press conference, the Thursday press conference, the Friday weigh-in, as well as the Countdown Live pre-fight show. So as we get into these last 9 days before the event, there is a variety of content available to satisfy every boxing fan's need. And again, both Showtime subscribers and non-subscribers alike can purchase and live stream this event directly through the Showtime app on a variety of platforms, plus, of course, on traditional pay-per-view distributors, making this event available virtually everywhere and anywhere sports fans want to consume their content. Kelly?
Thank you so much, Stephen. And just a quick note before I turn it over to Fred Sternberg. The fight week schedule for the media will be going out later today or first thing tomorrow. And that will have all the details regarding what the activities are for fight week. Okay, now we're going to hear from Manny Pacquiao. And to introduce Manny Pacquiao, we have Fred Sternberg. Everybody knows Fred, and he is also Manny's publicist. So, Fred?
Thanks, Kelly. Well, I think Steven said it best. No introduction needed for boxing's only 8th Division world champion and the reigning fighter of the decade. So let me present to you Manny Pacquiao.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Manny, how's camping going, and how do you feel? We're only about 10 days away.
I feel so happy and excited for the fight this January 19th, and we're ready. Well, it's all set.
Kelly, let's open it up for questions, please.
Okay, great. Operator, let's go ahead and open it up for questions. You will hear a slight pause before the first question comes in.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to ask a question, please press the number 1 key for today. Again, if you would like to ask a question, please press the number 1 key. Our first question is going to come from Dan Raphael from ESPN. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hello, Manny.
Hello.
Hello.
Manny, my question for you is, you've been now a professional for 24 years, and I wonder, as all the big fights that you've had, what is it that still motivates you to keep boxing, and what else is there for you or your desires to accomplish and the sorts of goals you still have for your boxing career?
That's the evidence of being passionate about the sport of boxing, and boxing is my passion, and that's why I'm still here. Continue fighting. I really love boxing, and that's why I'm always excited preparing to my fight, especially this January 19th.
Are there anything particular that you still want to accomplish? You've already set records with the number of titles you've won and all the big fights you've had and major events, but is there something you still have your eye on before you call it a day?
Talking about accomplishment, I already accomplished what I want to accomplish in life. What I want to do is to maintain and stay in that boxing. That is my passion.
Manny, are there any concessions or changes that you've had to make due to your age? I mean, you still fight in an energetic style, but I wonder now that you've turned 40, has there been things that you've had to change as far as reducing the stress on yourself or your body during your training camps? What sorts of things, if any, have you had to modify?
The routine of my training is the same, jog in the morning and training in the afternoon, but we have a couple of adjustments for in training, especially for recovery, because if we sometimes we push ourselves in heavy training in a day, and then I will see if at the overnight I can recover and then we'll pause again. But if I cannot recover, then I let my body rest so that the following day I can push again and work hard.
All right, I just have one more question for you, Manny. Your last two fights have taken place overseas in Australia and in Malaysia, and I was wondering, what was it that led you to take those fights away from the United States, a place where you had fought pretty much most of your career as far as, a superstar fighter and winning all your world titles for the most part?
I think it just happened that some promoters and most of the people there want me to fight there to see my personally live my fight. So that's opportunity for them that they can see live my fight.
All right, very good. Thank you very much, Manny. I look forward to seeing the fight next week. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan.
Our next question is going to come from Mike Wood from. Our next question is going to come from Mike Wood from The Ring Magazine. Please go ahead.
Hi, guys. Mike Wood's calling in from Brooklyn. Question for Manny. Manny, I just got off the phone with Freddie Roach a little while ago, and he said, honestly, he thinks that you have the old killer instinct back, and he thinks there's a strong possibility that you knock out Broner. Can you speak to this? Is there indeed the return of a killer instinct, or do you have more of a mindset of going for the knockout in this fight?
That's true. I have still that killer instinct, and then the fire in my eyes still there. The aggressiveness, the interest of this career is still there, 100%, and the speed, power is still there, and so thankful to God. But I'm not saying that I'm going to predict for this fight. I will do my best, and then looking forward to do the same with the last fight. Trying my best to make the same in the last fight, but no prediction. I will do my best. That's what we did in training camp.
Fair enough. And I'm not going to ask you about what fight comes after this one. You're focusing on Adrien Broner. But I will ask you, if you wouldn't mind, would you tell us what you said to Floyd Mayweather when you saw him at the basketball game the other day?
So surprisingly, I didn't know that he was there in the game. I was invited on that Filipino Heritage Night at Clippers game. I didn't know that he was there, and then when I'm throwing a T-shirt to the crowds, I saw him, and then I just say hello. That's it.
All right, good stuff. I appreciate your time and looking forward to watching a good fight on January 19th. Be well.
All right, thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Carlos Toro from Fightful. Please go ahead.
Hello, Manny. First of all, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us. My first question is, and basically, I know you've been hearing so many chatters, so many questions regarding the Floyd Mayweather fight, whether or not it's going to happen. Has it gotten to a point where you kind of feel a little annoyed, or has it kind of been something that the distraction of the chatter surrounding it kind of been weighing on your mind throughout this training camp, or do you just not pay attention to it?
You cannot avoid that the people will ask if there's a rematch with Floyd Mayweather, because I think they have a big question mark in their mind, also in their heart, that what happened in that fight. I'm supposedly won that fight, and but you know, I'm not. I'm just answering them that I don't have a plan yet. I'm very focused to this fight January 19 against Adrien Broner, because Broner is he's a former champion, and he's kind of fighter that you cannot underestimate or take him lightly.
Okay, going back to kind of the training aspect of this fight, what did it feel like having Freddie Roach kind of back in your corner, helping you prepare for a fight? Did it feel nice having kind of the duo back together? Did it feel like old times when you and Freddie were training for so many world title fights throughout the years?
Freddie is never out of the Team Pacquiao. It just happened that I want Bobo to experience being a head trainer in one fight, but good thing that that we're working here again, and nice to be back here in Wildcard Gym in Los Angeles, California, and fight again in Las Vegas. I think that's good for us to be united and focus to this coming fight next week.
You know, last question. When you first signed with PBC, obviously your focus is on Adrien Broner right now, but was PBC having Keith Thurman and Sean Porter and Errol Spence kind of been a motivating factor to sign with PBC and potentially get those types of dream matches, turning them into a reality?
I think after this fight, it's easy to talk about my next opponent, who is my next opponent, and that's very easy. But right now, my plan is one at a time. You know, because especially I am 40 years old, and I'm focused for this fight against Adrien Broner. One at a time. After the fight on January 19th at night, then we can talk about my next fight.
All right. Thanks, Manny. Best of luck next week.
All right. Thank you. God bless.
Our next question is going to come from Lynn Satterfield from theboxingscene.com. Please go ahead.
Hey, thank you. Hey, Manny, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm blessed. Listen, you've had some great fights throughout your career, and I'd like to know your top 5 fights in terms of stylistically preparing for them. Like Tim Bradley would be one opponent, Marquez would be one opponent, Floyd would be obviously another. Could you rank your top 5 opponents as far as preparing for the fight and the degree of difficulty, and what challenge does Adrien Broner pose for you in this fight in terms of breaking him down stylistically?
I think my top 5 great opponent is Oscar De La Hoya, Juan Manuel Marquez, Marco Antonio Barrera, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, and Eric Morales. And I think for 6, Ricky Hatton.
Okay. So you don't think that Tim Bradley was difficult to prepare for compared to those guys? And if so, why not? Even though you fought him 3 times, I know the first one was controversial.
Honestly, I'm not. it's not difficult fight for me.
What challenge does Adrien pose? I know he's talking about his counterpunching ability, and in particular the right hand. I know he's going to be looking for that. Kevin Cunningham has expressed that, especially given some of the difficulty you had with Marquez in the fourth fight. Do you see that as an issue? What is your assessment of that?
But can you say it again, please?
Yes. Adrien Broner's right hand, his counter-punching ability, they're kind of looking for that to be a key for him, given what they feel is your style that makes it easier for them to land that punch and be counter-punching, particularly off of the final fight you had with Marquez.
We know that already. I know that he will wait for me in counter like Marquez did, what Marquez did. I'm prepared for that, and it will not happen again. I learned in the past, and then you have to correct I have to correct my mistake.
Manny, thank you so much, and good luck in the fight.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions at this time, please press the number 1 key. Again, if you have any questions at this time, please press the number 1 key. Our next question is going to come from John Galen from NewYorkFight.com. Please go ahead.
How you doing, Manny?
How you doing? Hi.
All right. Look, you tweeted after Floyd fought in Japan, just how you felt about that fight. There's some people who feel as if that was some sort of tune-up for you. Of course, Broner, his style has been compared to Mayweather. Can you talk a little bit about what you felt when you saw Mayweather fight on New Year's Eve, and is there any comparison between Adrien Broner and Floyd Mayweather?
Let me clarify to you. Adrien Broner is not a tuna fight. He's a former champion. He's fast. He moves fast, and he's a good boxer. And that's why I don't want to. That's why I don't want to talk about my next fight until we finish this. I finish this business against Adrien Broner on January 19th. And about the exhibition of Floyd Mayweather in Japan, that happened. It's my first time to see an exhibition that you knock your opponent out. Supposedly, an exhibition is just to entertain people, nothing serious, and for 3 rounds. That's what I understand about exhibition.
And Dan asked you earlier about your goals in coming and joining Premier Boxing Champions and signing with Al Heyman. Still have to pinch myself about you actually, being a PBC fighter. But it makes for a much more interesting conversation because Sean Porter is the WBC welterweight champion, and Keith Thurman is the WBA super champion. You're the regular champion, but I would imagine that you aspire to have those type of title aspirations. Again, can you clarify if that's why you chose to continue on like that? Do you have the desire to once again be the WBC welterweight champion of the world, and maybe the undisputed welterweight champion? Would that be a goal?
Well, if that,
Manny, hang on one sec. Manny, hang on one sec. Somebody's phone. Could you mute your phone, please? Manny, did you move into the gym?
It's a noise.
Yeah, is that your noise or somebody else? You're in the same.
Might be mine.
Okay, can you mute your phone while he answers, please? It's very hard to hear. Thank you. Hang on one second. Okay, there you go, Manny.
Okay, I'm not I'm not worried about my next opponent. Let me taking care of this January 19, and then I have no worry about who is my opponent next. As long as it's not gonna be a problem for the promoters or the promotion like that. I have no problem to fight anybody as long as there's no hindrance, there's no a problem about negotiation. That's my plan is to just one at a time.
Okay, we have one more question from Manny Pacquiao, and then we're going to switch over to Adrien Broner. So, operator, can we get the last question from Manny, please?
Yes. The last question right now is from Matthew Ryan from Fox Sports. Please go ahead.
Hi, it's Fight Sports, but thank you. Manny, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So a lot of people are talking about your legacy, talking about what's next. What are you looking to accomplish with this fight against Adrien Broner? I know you talked about hopefully him resolving his issues outside of the ring, but what do you think of Adrien Broner as an opponent and as a person heading into January 19th?
Adrien Broner, that he's unfair to him that people thinking that is this is a tune-up fight for me. No, Adrien Broner is a good boxer, he's caliber boxer. He's a former champion, and he's kind of fighter that you cannot underestimate and taking him lightly. I know it's hard to talk about the next fight or future fight until we finish this fight against Adrien Broner on January 19th.
All right. Thank you so much, Manny. Best of luck on the 19th.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much, Manny. That's your last question. And we appreciate it. We're so happy you're back fighting in the United States for all of us to be able to come and watch you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Nice to be back here in the United States. Thank you. God bless.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks, Fred. Okay, now we're going to transition over to Adrien Broner, and I will wait to see if when he gets on the phone, I will be given the heads up. They're calling in now. So if everybody could stand by, and again, tickets are still available for this fight. MGM Grand, Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Saturday, January 19th, also live on Showtime pay-per-view. And we will be sending out the fight week schedule, I believe, later today, if not first thing tomorrow morning. So I'm just waiting for the go-ahead for Adrien Broner. Please stand by. Ravon, are you on yet?
In one moment, we're moving him over. One moment.
Okay, thank you.
He's now on the line.
Ravon?
Yes.
Hi, this is Kelly. Are you guys ready? Is Adrien ready?
Yeah, Adrien's here.
Okay, great. So, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, I'd like to introduce Ravon Littlejohn. He's the Chief Executive Officer of About Billions Promotion, who will make the introduction of Adrien Broner. Ravon?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to say a few words? Do you want to say a few words and introduce Adrien, and then put Adrien on the phone, okay?
Absolutely. About Billions Promotions, we're happy to be promoting this fight as the largest fight that we've had in our infancy as a company. And so far, everything has been well. Adrien has trained very well and very hard. He's more than ready for his opportunity. We'd like to thank Mr. Heyman and all the other promoting entities who are involved in this fight. And at this time, I'll go ahead and pass it over to Adrien.
Hey.
What up with y'all? What's good?
There we go. Now we're talking. Okay, Adrien, we're going to open it up to the media, but before we do that, I just want to ask you if you could fill us in a little bit on how training camp is going and how you're feeling for this big event for you.
Training camp's been great. Training my ass off. I've been focused, and I'm just ready to go out there and prove all the naysayers wrong.
Okay, excellent. Okay, operator, let's open it up for questions, please. Operator?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions at this time, please press the number 1 key. Again, if you have any questions at this time, please press the number 1 key. I'm waiting for callers to join the queue at this present time. Okay, our first question is going to come from Dan Raphael. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hello, Adrien.
What up with it?
Adrien, my question for you is this: are you motivated by being a heavy underdog in this fight? I mean, we know your accomplishments of winning a bunch of titles, at a very young age, but most people have you as a big underdog. How motivating is that for you?
It's real motivating, man. I don't worry about it, man. I just don't let it get to me. I just can't wait till the bell rings January 19th.
Now, like I said, you've won a whole bunch of titles. You're one of the most known fighters, I guess, in the sport today. But when you fought the very best opponents of your career, Madonna, Porter, and Garcia in particular, you came up short in those fights. If you beat Manny Pacquiao, how much would that sort of erase the bad feelings or the negativity associated with those losses?
It definitely will. Well, in life they say you're only good as your last performance. So, it's definitely going to sweep a lot of things under the rug.
Would you say sweep a lot of things under the rug?
Huh?
Did you say it's going to sweep a lot of things under the rug?
Of course.
And what would it mean to you then to get that caliber of victory? Because Pacquiao, even those names I just mentioned, he's clearly the most famous opponent that you ever faced with the most accomplishments. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, all that kind of stuff. How big in the scheme of things would that be for you?
It's going to be huge, and I'm taking full advantage of it. And I'm well prepared, and I'm just ready to go out there and perform.
I have one other question. Listen, there's been some news reports about some of your legal issues. Has that in any way impacted your training or your focus on this fight?
Nah, that's just something I'll take care of after the fight. Right now, I'm 100% focused on this fight, and I'm just ready to come to the ring January 19th and get a victory.
All right, very good. I wish you good luck, Adrien. Thank you for your time.
Next question, Katina, please.
Stand by. Operator?
Our next question is going to come from Niall Dorian from the Boxing News. Please go ahead.
Hey guys, how you doing? My question is for Stephen Espinoza. Hey Stephen, how are you? Just briefly, this event is a Showtime pay-per-view event on January 19th. Do you have any comments on rival networks, specifically Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya, saying that pay-per-view is dead on boxing? And furthermore, do you think on a macroeconomic level that pay-per-view in American professional sports is dead? I'd be interested to hear your comments. Thank you.
Sure, happy to. Look, on the concept of pay-per-view, we've consistently said that it's a useful tool when it's necessary. When you have a premium event, if you've got a filet mignon event, you're going to have filet mignon prices. You don't get filet mignon at the price of ground beef. I think a lot of the blowback in the negativity around pay-per-view comes when networks are trying to sell people pay-per-views that don't belong on pay-per-view. I didn't hear too many people saying that Wilder versus Fury was not a premium event, a special event, a heavyweight title fight, an international worldwide title fight, that deserve to be pay-per-view. Likewise, on January 19th, you have two of the biggest stars in the sport. Manny has a long history on pay-per-view, and the way this event was able to happen was through the pay-per-view tool. So in these two pay-per-views are the, and Mayweather-McGregor are the only pay-per-views we've done in the last 3 years. So I understand, what Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya are saying. It's a great marketing ploy, and that's really all it is. It's just a catchphrase, because both of those guys rely on pay-per-view and have relied on pay-per-view as an integral part of their business in the past. Eddie, on one hand, will say that pay-per-views are a terrible thing and they're dead, but if we look at his UK business, it's basically all built on pay-per-view. Oscar himself, while he's saying that boxing pay-per-views are dead, is simultaneously selling an MMA pay-per-view. So the reality, pay-per-view is a useful tool. It rewards the fighters for taking tough fights, and it allows some fights to happen that wouldn't otherwise happen without that tool. But it should be used sparingly.
Thanks.
Thank you. Next question.
Carlos Torres from Fightful, please go ahead.
Thank you, Adrien. First question. I know from the very beginning, since this fight was signed, the, kind of secondary story surrounding this fight is whether or not Manny Pacquiao could potentially fight Floyd Mayweather. Has that been frustrating for you, that some people may not be taking you seriously, aside from calling you a heavy underdog, but also kind of in a way disregarding you? Has that been a motivating factor, or has it frustrated you at times throughout this camp?
No disrespect, but I don't give a fuck about Mayweather and Pacquiao. I'm focused on Adrien Broner and Pacquiao, and I'm focused on getting this victory, and I'm gonna go to the drawing board with my team and Stephen Espinosa and Al Heyman, and we're gonna make bigger moves.
Did you get a chance to see Pacquiao's last fight against Lucas Matisse? And if so, what do you think of Pacquiao and how his skills have sort of translated now to being 40 years old compared to how he was in his prime?
Pacquiao's a legend. He's a legend, and he will always go down. He's going to go down as one of the best in the boxing business. But I just feel like it's my time to take over the sport, and I'm coming to take the throne from Pacquiao.
All right, Adrien, thank you. Best of luck on your fight against Manny Pacquiao next week.
Okay, thank you.
Our next question is, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press the number 1 key. Again, if you have any questions, please press the number 1 key. Our next question is going to come from Lim Satterfield from theboxingscene.com. Please go ahead.
Hey, Adrien, how you doing, man?
What up, Lim?
Hey, so I just asked Manny on the previous call what his top 5 fights were in terms of preparation and degree of difficulty. He listed about 6 or 7, and the top one was Oscar De La Hoya. You weren't on the list. What do you think that says about him? And do you think he's in for rude awakening?
Honestly, I really didn't hear what you're saying, but I heard some of it, and I really don't care about none of that. I'm just focused, and I'm just ready to go in there and have a hell of a night and start a new chapter in my career.
Okay, Adrien, I spent some time watching some of the fights you talked about with the Southpaws, your 6-0, with 5 KOs, particularly the DeMarco fight. And, I thought that the right hand was key. I thought the uppercuts were key. And I know that Kevin Cunningham said that you guys are really working on doing what you need to do against the Manny Pacquiao, who he says hasn't made adjustments over his career. Do you think that your counterpunching ability is the antidote to his style of speed, jumping in, being aggressive?
It'll definitely play a big part, but we got more in store to beat Pacquiao, and I will show that January 19th.
My last question for you is, you've had the 3 losses that Dan mentioned earlier. I thought the Marcos fight was very, very close, unlike, it kind of seems to be talked about. What is the difference between Adrien Broner, who lost those 3 fights, in particular the Garcia fight, and the one who is going into this fight against arguably the toughest, particularly the toughest fighter that you will have faced? What, in terms of preparation and focus and execution, what will be the difference?
My dedication to the sport. For this camp, it was 100% boxing, and it was, I know it's at stake. A win over Pacquiao can take my career somewhere that I can only dream of. So, I got to take it serious, and I just really feel like it's my time.
Okay, thank you, Adrien, and good luck in the fight. Good talking to you.
Thanks.
Our next question is going to come from Matthew Ryan from Fight Sports. Please go ahead.
Hey, Adrien. Good afternoon. So Manny's been making it clear that his goal on the 19th is to knock you out, to do something no one else has been able to do. You're also looking to do that. Do you think Manny's got a shot to bring you down, and what are the things you're looking at in camp that gives you the confidence that you can knock Manny out?
Man, a knockout's good, but I'm definitely just going for the win. I just want to win, point blank period. And everybody go into a fight wanting a knockout. We don't want a knockout, but things will rival different January 19th.
Thanks a lot, Adrien. Best of luck.
Okay, so our next question is going to come from Mike Wood from Ring Magazine. Please go ahead.
He's still on the call. Hey, Mr. Broner, Mike Woods calling in from Brooklyn. How you doing? My question is this. Do you think that this is a must-win fight for you, or when media talk about possible must-win, is that maybe more so what media does to just sort of stir up drama? Do you see this, though, as a must-win fight for you?
I don't be getting when people say must win fight, because at the end of the day, if you're a boxer, every fight is a must win fight. You don't ever want to go to a fight trying to lose. So as a competitor, as an athlete, I go in any event that I attend to and that I prepare for. I go in to win. So of course I'm trying to win. And it's always a must-win situation.
Got it. I'm wondering what you perceive the stakes to be when you ponder this and say to yourself, okay, I'm going to beat Manny Pacquiao, and if and when you beat Pacquiao, do you say to yourself, this brings me to a next crazy level, that level being I'm naturally in line to fight Floyd Mayweather if Floyd decides to come back and not fight exhibitions?
I don't look at that. Boxing is a sport where you got to go a fight at a time. So I'm focused on Manny Pacquiao, and after that, we'll look at other things and other avenues.
All right, good stuff. Sounds good. Thanks. Looking forward to a great fight. Be well.
So our next question is going to come from Xavier Porter from Brooklyn Fight.
Hey, AB, how you doing, man?
Please go ahead.
Hey, AB, how you feeling, man? First off, I applaud you. Can't wait to see you perform on fight night. Can you speak to, speak to the fact of, this fight is for the hood, for the people, for your community, and everything that has led up to this fight, and how important it is to you to come out victorious?
Where I come from, man, we barely get someone to come out and be at the top level where I am today. So, that's why I'm doing it for the hood. To give back hope and show the young kids, just follow your dream, and that's why I'm doing it for the hood. So that motivates me to just go in there and do my best, and we're gonna go in there and get the victory.
Okay. And watching Manny's last performance against Lucas Matisse, and seeing everything that has taken place with him in his career, do you see a decline in his speed? And also, do you see him being more of a sit-down puncher, more of a, just want to sit down and put weight behind his punches and actually look for the knockout, which can make it easier for you to land your straight right hand and, get your victory?
I mean, I don't want to let too much out, but, it's going to be a hell of a fight, January.
All right. Well, I wish you luck on the fight, man.
All right, thanks.
And our last question is going to come from Nestor Gibbs from the BoxingVoice.com. Please go ahead.
Hey, Nestor had to step away real quick. This is Michael Gross filling in. My question is, how did you develop a friendship with Michael Blackson and John Sally?
I've been to Michael Black. I've been to him for some time now. I've been seeing him around, and we're just mutual friends. And Mr. Sally, real recognized real, and when we get around each other, we just hang. We're black. Shit, what can I say? We like each.
And I got a question, man, right off the block, bro. Why red hot sauce over Louisiana hot sauce?
'Cause red hot the shit. Always red hot. Louisiana is that's like oh shit. Oh my bad, somebody's calling. Oh, but Louisiana, that's like taking a Volvo over a Range Rover. You're gonna take the Range Rover, right?
I don't know, man. I'm from the South, man. I've been growing up on Louisiana all my life.
Nah, Louisiana ain't fucking with red hot. But I do use Louisiana when the red hot go out. So it comes in handy.
All right, man.
Okay, that was the last question for today.
Okay, great. Adrien, thank you so much for your time. Is there anything you want to say in parting before we let you go?
Get off my motherfucking phone.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for calling in. We'll see you next week at the fight.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
For joining me, I'll disconnect and have a great day.